and welcome to the Big Fat Email Marketing Quiz of the Year, hosted by Marketing Showcase and sponsored by the very generous guys over at Force24. So this is totally new, something totally different. We haven't tried it before, so you're probably going to have to bear with us. There'll be a few teething problems, but we're going to try and do this as smoothly and have as much fun as possible whilst doing so. So my name is Ashley Jones. I'm the event director at Marketing Showcase. Normally I'd be hosting these webinars and just saying hello at the start and end, but today I've transformed into a quiz master. So I'm going to have my quiz hat on and I'll be driving you through this one with the help of Rory from Force24 and Adam from Force24, the CEO. And if they want to join me on the stage now, we can have a quick chat. How are you guys?
Thank you. That was our cue to join, wasn't it? Well done.
I was just thinking that. I was like, do we join now?
You guys okay?
Very good.
Yeah, we're good.
Good. So Adam, Adam's going to be our brain today. He is the email marketing guru. What he doesn't know about emails isn't worth knowing. So whilst we're going through these questions, which are all, funny enough, email marketing related, Adam will be providing some context and some insight and hopefully some actionable tools for your email marketing to take away from this webinar. Thanks for joining us, Adam. You looking forward to it?
Of course. It's nice to be, isn't it funny? A few months ago, we were saying, oh, it's so nice to be back in a physical event. And now it's so nice to be not having to get out of bed early and get to a flipping physical event. I quite enjoy not having to do that.
Okay, well, fine, fair enough. I think I share that opinion ever so slightly, but we love live events. Anyway, Rory, you're our glamorous assistant behind the scenes that will be running this quiz and making sure it all goes smoothly, right?
That's it. That's completely correct. So what we just need everyone to do at the minute is, if you can see on screen now, it says go to vvox.app. You can do this on your phone. You can do it on the laptop, basically whatever device is nearest you and easiest. If it's on your phone, you can scan the QR code and it will join you right into the lobby to be able to answer the questions. If not, you can go to vvox.app and just type in that ID and then it'll just ask you for your name and it should be ready to go. So if we can get everyone just joining through that, and then we can start off.
Nice.
See, Adam's joining already.
Yeah, when we were doing the practice run, I found the easiest way to do it, if it helps anyone, is just grab your phone out whilst you're watching this on your computer or desktop, scan the QR code. You'll be playing along on your phone whilst we ask and answer the questions live.
Really easy. It literally took me 1 sec. I was expecting like a big form or something. No, you just literally scan it, first name, your last name in. That's it, and then it says welcome.
Adam, it's as if you haven't seen that before. We've been practicing this for weeks, right?
Of course.
Okay.
You knew that. He's just trying to show it off, that's all.
So I think we get underway. I think we get started with this and we get on with the first question ever for the Big Fat Email Marketing Quiz of the Year. And I really feel like at this point I should have some sort of like fancy fanfare noise or like an intro that a quiz would have, but I'll just do it with a little do-do-do-do-do.
Who wants to be a millionaire stuff? Yeah,
exactly. Who wants to be a millionaire? The pressure's on. So let's get on with our first question for the Big Fat Email Marketing Quiz of the Year. So I want to know, statistically, how many emails does it take to ensure you have exposed the maximum addressable contacts within your email base? Is it A1, B10, C6, or D3? Going to give 10 seconds to answer. Rory, just in the background, Deb's asked in the chat, will we get a copy of questions after this session?
Yeah, we can send all the questions around to basically everyone that's participating.
Cool. Definitely. And we're recording this session as well. So if you want to go back and watch it and fast forward a few bits where Rory, Adam and I are making some noise and watch the questions, you can do. So it looks like 25 out of 28 have answered. So if we can get the last couple of people to answer on that one, or else you're going to miss out and you're going to lose points. So let's give it 5 seconds for 3, 2, 1. And the answer is.
So first of all, we see the results.
Oh, look at that. 56% of people. Brilliant.
And the correct answer.
6. Now, this is an interesting one because the answer is obviously it's dependent on the audience, isn't it? It's not a case that every audience you need to say something 6 times. It's sort of it's an average across many audiences. And I want you to take that, remember that as a pinch of salt, as being, if I've got an extremely engaged audience, I don't need to push something 6 times. But in life, in email, whatever it is, the average is 6. And there's some really interesting thinking and bodies of work around asking and getting people's buy-in on things and how we have to do things a number of times. So 6 is the statistically, take it as a pinch of salt, as I say, but well done for everybody. The 56 people. Where's that average taken from? That the point is, as I was saying, the average is across all different types of bases, from a warm engaged base where you may say it takes 2 touches to a very, very less cold prospect database where they've never heard of you, never seen you, where it takes a lot more. The point is, like I say, there is a body of work all around. I think it's the 7 thank yous for in a charity world, and there's lots of different way in a B2B acquisition world. It's 16 touches, and I can't exactly remember where, but the formula to get an addressable base on average is 6. But like I say, you need to actually remember. You take that as a pinch of salt. You take that as a if I'm doing an engaged base, I usually take the open rate, divide it by 100, and that's how many times you need to do it to get your addressable base from a particular data segment. I hope that makes sense. A lot of waffle there, but that's a bit you can fast forward, get to that last few seconds.
Understood. I think the point is we've got to keep talking to people, right? Rather than just sending one email.
And you can't expect, I say it once and you've got it. The point is, use it as, take it as a pinch of salt. I need to say something 6 times. Free training and support for life. I tell you that 6 times on average on every demo. Not demo, every webinar, whatever we're doing today.
Let's roll on to question 2.
Please, let's move on.
Yep. I was just going to say as well, if anyone's joined late at all, there's still time to join. You just go to vvox.app and type in the ID, or you can scan the QR code, which is the much easier method. So feel free to join.
Right, so question 2. What is a lead score? Is it A, to tell you when to make a phone call? B, to tell you what products your contacts are interested in? C, how many points you got in your quiz? Or D, to help you understand their engagement with your brand? And at this point, whilst I give people a chance to answer, there is a prize up for grabs, and we'll reveal that at the end of the quiz, but it's a hefty prize. We're looking forward to handing that one out. So make sure you're paying attention to these questions, answering as quick as possible, and making sure you get them right. So as we just round off the last couple of people that are to answer this, we've got pretty much there. I'm going to give you 5 seconds, 2, 1, and let's take a look at what your answers are.
Well, they're coming in thick and fast. Yay, look at that. Fantastic. Well done, guys. 80. There you go.
80.77%. We've got super specific on this. That's beautiful. I like it. Not rounding it to 81%. It's 80.77%.
I'm surprised actually that to tell me when to make a phone call didn't get more votes. So really what the difference is, and specifically these answers were just there to test. So I get why somebody would say tell you what products the contact's interested in. It's a score. So a score can't tell you much other than their general level of engagement. So it's very much about using a temperature. I always say it's like a thermometer. You've got a temperature. 20 degrees in Spain is the same as 20 degrees in France, in terms of how hot something is. And the idea of a lead score is that you give Ash a temperature, he's 20. You give Rory a temperature, he's 40. That means he's twice as engaged there or thereabouts as Ash is. So we can prioritize our audience and we can change how we're going to talk to people based on their levels of engagement. Lead score.
I don't like to think Rory's twice as hot as me, but there we go.
I'm going to say he's my boss. He favors me.
Next question. Moving on. Okay, so that's lead scoring, guys. Let's rock on with the third question of today's quiz. So the art of personalization is, finish this sentence, putting your recipient's name at the top of the email, using more than one merge tag on any email, putting relevant pictures in an email, or sending the right message to the right person at the right time. Now, I'm just going to put it out there. If we've got even one answer wrong to this one, we're gonna have to identify that person and crucify them in the chat. Let's give 5 seconds. This one should be pretty easy, guys. For our audience of wonderful marketeers, I think you guys should know what the art of personalization is. Let's round it off now and call the answers there, please, Rory.
Okay.
Oh my goodness, we got most people, but there are a couple wrong.
Okay. So this is the one that I always harp on about, isn't it? I always fit this one into my talks, and it's about, say, personalization. Technically, you're right. Putting somebody's email phone email address in. What I think, putting somebody's name into an email, it technically is personalization. But the question is the art of personalization, not define what personalization is. So the art of personalization is about sending the right message to the right person at the right time. That genuinely is what it is. Actually, we have some instances in our business where we believe we've nailed personalization. We've got it. We're sending you the right message at the right person at the right time. We don't put your name in it. We could do, but we don't. Because it's not the bit that matters. If I send you the right message at the right time, whether I've said hi Adam in it, it doesn't matter. That's not the bit that matters. The bit that matters is the business communicating with me at this point about that. So that's personalization. So 92.31% of you nailed it. And yes, thank you.
And nearly 4%, well, nearly 8% of people got that one wrong. So if you're one of that 8%, you're in my bad books for the rest of this quiz. So let's move on to the next question. Are we on question 5 now?
Question number 4.
Question 4. Okay, I'm skipping ahead. Question number 4. What is the best practice for achieving higher engagement and deliverability in your email campaigns? Is it A, try and reduce the frequency of emails you send by sending as much content in each email? B, spreading out your message over multiple emails and deliver short, simple, regular messages? C, sending your email again to the people that did not open it the first time? Or D, using as many call to actions in one email as possible to capture lots of potential interests? So a bit more of a wordy one there. I'll give you a little bit longer to decide on this one.
Tricky one, that one. Very, very tricky.
That is a tricky one. No,
I think we're going to see a split, aren't we? I think we're going to see a bit more of an even distribution of the answers in this one.
No, I'm interested to see your thoughts on this one, Adam.
Let's
we're up to 20 out of 28. Let's get the last few people answering this. When we get up, I think there's about 24 people paying attention in this quiz. So the last 4 seem to be lagging behind on each question. So I don't know whether that's a telling sign, or whether do we need to send help to those 4 people? Okay, right. 24 out of 28. Let's pull it and let's go on to the answers. So let's see how this is spread across these.
Oh, okay. Not as big a gap as we'd have thought, as I thought, actually.
The majority getting it right, though, which is nice to see.
So, love.
Is there a right answer?
Yeah, well, the right answer is spread it out over multiple emails. So, we got it right. Most people got it right. But do you know what I'm most pleased about, guys, is the fact that nobody believes it's about sending less and ramming more into what you do send. Nobody believes that, and that's really important. So 12.5% of you and 12.5% of you sending emails again to the people who did not open the first time. Now, I do have a bit of an issue with that technique. That basically says they weren't interested in it first time. I talked before we talk about 6, rule of 6, okay? It's not about sending the same email time and time and time again. It's about iterating your message. So you could be talking about the same webinar, but you can't be sending the same email to the base time and time and time again. Because if I didn't open it the first time, there's a chance that either A, I wasn't interested, or B, I just wasn't available. So if I just keep repeating that cycle, I eventually end up with sending emails to people that just aren't interested. They just aren't interested. So from a deliverability point of view, my engagement just goes through the floor. And then, as we know, email deliverability is all about my credibility. And if I'm sending to worse and a worse and a worse and a worse position, that's not helping me. Instead, I should be focusing on rewarding the positive engagement of those that do engage and talking more frequently and regularly to those ones. Using as many CTAs in one button to capture lots of potential interest and understand what you're seeing. But for every button you have above the one button, you force choice. And when I force choice, I engage people's brain, and we have to start thinking about which one is it relevant for me. When it's a simple message where there's a simple continuation of that journey, no choice, no thinking is required. Therefore, I just follow it more inertly. So it's all about as simple a message as possible with trying to eliminate choice. Occasionally in campaigns, in retail, for example, B2C retail, if I put clothes, that's not the case. I want to invoke choice. I want you to tell me which color you like or which flavor you like or whatever it might be, because I can infer something from that. But in the majority of communications, I want you to follow a journey, and the email's job is to get you there, not necessarily to have learned a lot about you. So glad to see that the majority of people nailed it. So thank you very much, guys. Well done.
Question number 5. According to the world's largest ESP, the optimum email design should contain, and I noticed a typo in there whilst I was doing it, the world's largest ESP, world's largest ESP, the optimum email design should contain 10 words, 1 button, 50 words, no more than 2 buttons, 100 words and 3 buttons, 85 words and 1 button. So
yeah, we changed it to saying the world's largest ESP rather than just Microsoft. Just because it's not about Microsoft. It's about the email processing industry, which is not what ESP stands for, by the way, but it is very much about that. And Microsoft do lead the field, but Google follow a lot of the same suits and are actually not entirely sure at the current rate. Maybe I think Microsoft is probably over 50% and Google's into the 40s, but I don't know for certain anymore.
Okay, but this is taken from the big boys who process most of the emails, and they've given this bit of advice. So let's see what the answer is.
Have we got enough people? Yeah, okay.
There are 25. We picked up 1 extra person, so somebody that was sleeping has now woken up. So Adam, this is interesting. So wow. We've got a fairly even split-ish, give or take. Apart from 100 words and 3 buttons is not reaping any rewards. But Rory, if you could show us the answer to this one, we might shock a few people. So Adam,
20%. Yeah, 10 words, 1 button. That's the optimum amount. And you might notice that this is not necessarily, again, for you guys to necessarily be able to nail your message in 10 words and 1 button. This is about you've got to convey the essence of your message in 10 words and give 1 button. We've already said in the 2 buttons creates choice. I have to now choose. 10 words is all about a marketeer being able to distill and simplify that message into a really, really clear statement. There is also a lot of work on this sort of 10 words. Anything that you need to be able to sell, you should be able to sell it within 10 words. Google it. It's quite an interesting topic. But the 1 button, again, eliminates choice. Now, what that's saying is not that if you take the whole email, there should be no more than 10 words on it. Because I've got my unsubscribe, my message preferences, my invisible pre-header. I've got actually my core message should be delivered in 10 words, 1 button. If you need more than that, you should rationalize. And again, think back a few questions ago. It's about delivering regular, repetitive messages that are smaller in size rather than big, less frequent, big, chunky, lots of buttons. Know where you are on the scale is my point here. It's not saying you should do this because you know what? We can't do it. Force 24, we can't do it. So we can get probably 50 words, 1 button. That's easy peasy. Probably get 30 words, maybe even 20 words, 1 button. 10 words, 1 button is really hard. But know where Microsoft and where Google are trying to take you. And that's to say, simplify, make it smaller, make it simpler. That's what it's about. So really good advice. Below the button, do a little bit more, but that key message needs to be within 10 words and 1 button.
I think that's something that everyone should get on with as soon as they finish this, is give it a go and try it.
Simple.
So we're into the latter stages of our quiz, and I think people have got the hang of it now. So we're going to do a little bit more rapid fire to speed things on and make sure that we squeeze this into time. So the 5th or 6th question today, Force 24 is all about optimizing marketers, and we believe it should take how long to build any email, including dynamic content? 30 minutes, an hour, 5 minutes, or 45 minutes. Right, let's rattle through this. Come on, guys. Answers in, please. Make a choice or you're going to miss out. So I'm going to give you 5 seconds to answer. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go. Okay, so let's have a look at where the answers were.
Yes, in the main.
So the correct answer being C, 5 minutes. Adam, talk to me.
Yeah, this is all about marketeers not being busy, overburdened individuals. This is about using formulas. This is about using tried and tested approaches. This is about aiming for that 10 words, one button. This is all about saying your recipients respect you, the fact that you spent time trying to reduce the amount of time that you invest into each communication. When we have these big, long, heavily burdened emails, they take the marketeer much longer. The recipient has got lower engagement with them. It's generally just a bad direction of travel. Where if we can get to, I'm spending less time, it means that A, I can focus on other things. B, I can throw it in the bin if I've got it wrong and start again. But C, the recipient respects that simplicity that you send. So condense. Do you know what's interesting, Ash? When you talked to Ben a moment ago, say, oh, this is a wordy one of the questions. That question set, all of a sudden on screen was like, oh my God, look at all those words.
Yeah.
That was probably smaller than most people's emails.
True. It's a good case.
Think about that. Think about how simple we've got to make it. 5 minutes, write those words, get that message out. That's how it goes.
Let's move on to the next question.
Moving on.
This one's talking about GDPR and PECA, which I always like as my favorite acronym, that one. Okay. Clause 142 refers to your obligation to contacts regarding to B2B text and email states. The rules on content, the soft, so what are the, Adam, reword this question for me.
GDPR, the PCR clause 142 refers to your obligations to contacts regarding B2B text and email messaging, states the rules on consent, the soft opt-in and the right to opt out do not apply unless processing personal data to communicate with the corporate subscriber, in which case the right to opt out is absolute. Rules on consent are identical to consumer marketing. Legitimate interest as defined by marketing overrules consent. There are no rules. Do what the hell you want.
That's what I'm answering. No rules. I'm a rule breaker.
Wild West. Wild West.
That's it. Okay, so let's fizz in the answers to that one, and then let Adam talk to us a little bit more about what.
It's kind of difficult, isn't it? You know, that's a really tricky one. That's probably some bad grammar there. My bad.
There's a little bit of grammar involved in that one. I'm
definitely a little bit of grammar. It's essentially PECR clause 142 in relation to B2B marketing. What are the rules on consent? They don't exist, which is the second one down. It's up to the marketeer. There are no rules, or again, slightly there are no rules, but it does apply if you're processing personal data in order to talk to that business.
If you haven't got a clue, have a guess, because we're going to move on to the answers now. So let's give it 2 seconds, put in your answers, and let's roll on. So most people are opting for question A. Adam, give us the answer.
It's number 1. The rules on consent, soft opt-in, and the right to opt out do not apply in B2B marketing. How crazy is that? Unless you are processing somebody's personal data to communicate to that corporate subscriber. So if I'm processing Ashley at showcaseevents.co.uk, that's personal data. I have that Ashley has the right to opt out. So legitimate interest still does apply, and that is a very, very gray area. So let's not get into that one. The point is, I, as a B2B marketer, have the right to email Ashley without him opting in on the basis I'm talking to Showcase Events. Now, because I'm sending it to Ashley at showcaseevents.co.uk, he has the right to object, which means he has the right to opt out. Now, what he does not have the right to do is complain and report me to the ICO because I've emailed him in the first place, because I'm talking to corporate subscriber, that subscriber, the business. And the data that we hold is mostly on the business and not the individual.
Yeah, I think in my experience, we've done a lot of email marketing ourselves for these events. In fact, most of you registering today got it from an email. just got to be really careful. I've found if you're buying data or you're acquiring data and they're giving you Hotmail addresses, or
Really dodgy.
It's really difficult because they've given it to you in a business context, which I suppose is them kind of consenting to that, but you've got to be careful with those. So if it's a business email address, Adam, this is where this applies, right?
Yeah. However, so 2 points to note here. Number one, there's little point in sending emails to people that don't want them. So don't do it. Number two, the rules do not apply to sole traders, and that's the gray area. If it's a sole trader, they're a natural human being. They're not a corporate subscriber. It has to be a limited company. I think LLPs and partnerships are in the same vein as this. So you have to be very, very careful when you're purchasing data. So the general rule of thumb is really treat it like it's consumer data, but you do have a little bit more bandwidth to go to a reputable data agency and acquire quality data that has been vetted and is GDPR approved.
Cool. Okay. Next question. We've got to bosh through these last three because we've got a prize giving to give at the end. So let's roll these sort of hot seat styly. Modern segmentation or 3D segmentation is segmenting based on someone's interest, segmenting based on the level of engagement and buying funnel, segment based on seniority, or all of the above. I'm going to give you 5 seconds from now to answer this one. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
Pressure's on.
Pressure's on. We're at the final stages here, so this is where the winners win and the losers lose. So, Adam.
Yeah, modern segmentation. It's a tricky one, isn't it? Because unless you've seen specifically my talks about modern or 3D segmentation, it's difficult to say that. But the all of the above, in a quiz, pretty much whenever all of the above is there, it's the right answer. So, but it's about saying, look, segmentation in the old days was butcher, baker, candlestick maker. I'm sure if anybody's heard me before, you've heard me talk about that. But really, we've got lots of different types of butchers, different levels of engagement, different levels of seniority, and it gets this 3D model. And that's what it's all about. So 3D marketing is about saying segmentation needs to apply on so many different layers than just butcher, baker, candlestick maker. And that's what it's all about.
Right.
On that one.
2 questions left. Let's find a winner. So the penultimate question: what is the secret formula to success in marketing? Build everything last minute so you can be assured your message is current. Build a formula for everything you do and iteratively improve that formula. Spend as much time as possible segmenting data in spreadsheets, or learn how to use HTML. And again, your 5-second countdown starts now.
Really aggressive, Ash. Really aggressive.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I've got a career.
He's going for it.
If events fail, I've got a career as a pub quiz master, I'm sure. So apart from the fact I can't say iteratively, so just make sure they don't have that. So 3, 2, 1.5, and we're gonna call it. You're gonna miss out. Let's call it. They've missed it. They've missed it. They don't know, or they're asleep. Come on then. Answers.
Right. Yeah. Okay. That's a tough one, but everybody got it. 91.6% of people got it. I'm really pleased. You know what I'm talking about when I say this. Build a secret formula means I don't think on the fly. I mean, build everything last minute so you can be sure. Come on. I know you're taking the mickey when you answered that one. So it's not about building everything last minute so you can be sure the message is current. No, it isn't. There is an element of timeliness in that, and I don't disagree with some of the thinking in there. But ultimately, we should build a formula for everything. Our success comes from being able to iterate and change little bits along the way. When we start from scratch every time on everything, it means that, A, I can't build my emails in 5 minutes. Start from scratch every time. I need a formula for what it looks like. Then I come to build my subject line. Oh my God, what should I do with the subject line? This one, I don't know. I need a formula: verb plus urgency plus content, or verb plus content plus urgency, or name plus verb plus content. If I'm working in this way, I just align to those formulas. And I'm just, as a marketer, I become so effective because I'm just filling in the gaps. Let me tell you a secret. The audience don't know. They don't notice. all you notice is you get the benefit of time back in your day, and you get to iteratively improve things. And think, I know, in that formula, I'm going to put first name there, not there. Let's see what happens. And then we iteratively test it, and we get better as marketeers. But when I'm there scratching my head, spending 45 minutes, an hour, building emails, segmenting, whatever it might be, I don't improve and I don't get better. So that, build a secret formula, stick to it, and improve.
Last question. Now, I can't see behind the scenes, but I'm going to guess this one is the crunch between whether you win this quiz or not. So split testing your emails is a great idea. True. I learned so much from the statistics I get back. False. If I can't tell the difference, my audience won't. Instead, I iteratively, I got it right, test over time. This is, come on.
Yeah, man.
This one's got a bit, I'm not even, I can give a timer to this one. 5, 4, 3, 2. Last person, go on. Hey, there we go.
Oh, it's close.
50, pretty much 40-60 rather. So okay, now Adam, give me the answer, and I'm sure I don't know whether people were listening to the last question, but
it's so controversial when I say this one, because everybody thinks split testing is the be all and end all. Split testing is absolutely the be all and end all, not in email. Not in email. Split test your website, split test your paid ads, split test everything that you do out there, not email. You can't split test email effectively. The reality of it is I have to do what's called iterative testing. So split testing is I've got creative A, creative B. As a marketeer, if I can't tell the difference, I shouldn't have to ask my customers to tell the difference at that level. So I send out those two things, they won't tell the difference. There'll be nothing statistically that I can rely on. It might have just been that, well, they got it a little bit later and they got it a little bit earlier. But if I, as a marketeer, can't tell the difference, it's very difficult. Now, somebody just put, how about subject lines? Absolutely. But the same applies. Iterative testing says, I've got a formula, and this campaign, I go whole hog on that particular formula. That's what I want to do. And for 3 weeks, I use that formula. On a week 4, 5, 6, I switch it to be what I was questioning. So if I'm just questioning, is that picture better than that picture? It doesn't matter. The customers won't care. You don't care. Nobody cares. All I've done is split everything in half to do some sort of testing. It doesn't matter. If I'm fundamentally testing the words I use on a button, for example, am I going to get more robust answers if I run that on every campaign using that terminology approach for 3 weeks or a week or however long, get some stats, and then move and change it and do it that way? That's iterative testing. Split testing was made up years ago by MailChimp. Not really. But anyway, the point is that it was made up and it was now sold to marketeers that you need to do split testing in your emails. You don't, because there's no meaningful outcome to the statistics, and they are so flawed, especially now. You know, you send an email to everybody on an iPhone with iOS 15, they all open it. No, they don't. The device opens it. So all of those statistics are blown out the window. You have to be going further up the chain, looking at wider audience statistics. That's a whole different question, whole different time. And you have to be iteratively testing over time and improving. That's how building a secret formula helps you get there. Sorry, Ash, I know you're chomping a bit.
Thank you very much. Look, that draws us to the end of our very first, I don't know whether it'll be our last, but our very first big fat email marketing quiz of the year. I certainly enjoyed myself, but I am at this point going to hand over to the glamorous assistant that is Rory. It's probably underselling his role, but can you give us the results? And
well, fingers crossed, if we hit this button, we shall see some results.
We've got a tie.
Full list. We've got. Hang on.
Come on, Adam.
I feel like there's some match fixing going on.
What I like is Adam.
I'm going first.
This is Adam's quiz, and he got one wrong.
No.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
Okay, let's give a round of applause to our winner, Heather.
Well done, Heather.
Everyone, round of applause in the chat for Zoom, please. Heather was the winner. There's honourable mentions in a tie for third between Charlotte, Chris, and Elaine, and then we've got some fierce. Generally, everyone's done pretty well, so I'm really pleased with that. So Heather, Adam, what does Heather win?
So Heather wins a £50 Amazon voucher. You see how I flipped it just at the last second, because I realized the logistics of going to the office and getting t-shirts. Anybody else in this list, if you come to a showcase events, we've got t-shirts and water bottles. and we'll give you those free of charge, and that your special price for taking part in the quiz. But Heather, there's a £50 Amazon voucher that we can vend digitally to you, so that saves us on time, effort, and postage. So
I didn't know whether you were going to ring it and say, oh, well, £50 Amazon voucher, but I won, so I'll keep that for myself. So, there we go.
Yourself.
Okay, so if for anyone that didn't win out, look, there is a second prize for you here. I've just launched a poll in the background. If you want to know more about becoming the most effective marketer you can be, and you want to know the cost to that, which would be involved with Force 24, you can grab their price list just by answering the poll, and we'll make sure we get that over to you. So look, everyone in the chat, if you could just put a big clap for Adam and Rory for putting this quiz together and supporting Marketing Showcase so heavily, month after month, year after year. We really appreciate their time. They've done something a bit different here, which I appreciate, and I hope you guys had fun. So thank you very much, Adam and Rory.
No problem. Thanks, guys. Thanks for everybody for taking part.
Yes, and I'll mirror what Adam says there. Everyone for taking part, thank you very much. We've got one webinar taking place in the next 20 minutes, and it is our final webinar of the day, and it's the 22 must-haves for your website in 2022. As the year closes, find out these hacks, tips, and tricks you can implement on your website to get the most out of it next year. So I'm going to round this off. I'll leave the poll running in the background, but thanks again, Rory and Adam, and I'll see you very, very soon.
Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Cheers, guys.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for watching another recording from Marketing Showcase Online. I hope you enjoyed it. Just to let you know, we've got all of the recordings uploaded to our brand new YouTube channel, so go over there and check it out if you want some more great content. We run these events once every month, free of charge, so head over to our website to grab tickets for next month's event. I look forward to seeing you there.